Welcome to English 102. When you come into the course, you typically come in on the announcements page. I use announcements to communicate with you about general information, but most of the time I'll refer you to course messages for more detailed information. As you see here, this announcement tells you what is required in the first week, tells you that you begin in the Start Here menu, or that you can go to that link by using the course link at the bottom of the announcement. In the Start Here menu, you'll meet me, Susan Puckett. I'm your instructor. My office is on the lower level on the Huntsville campus. I'm on campus Monday through Thursday. My office hours are from 1 to 2 those days, other times by appointment. You can come back to this information, here, and you can also find this information in course messages. There are several things I want to show you here about navigating the course that may be helpful. One, you can open Blackboard in more than one tab and more than one window if you want to go back and forth between them if you need to see information side by side. The table of contents in the module links are active. That means that you can access any one of these from this location. If there is a folder, that means that there are things within it, and you can expand and contract. You can expand and close that folder to be able to see the contents there. I suppose that should be expand and collapse. You have also options to maximize and minimize menus. For the course menu itself, if you hover between these, you can minimize the course menu, and then you can hover and maximize it again. For the table of contents, it can be reduced, it can be minimized, and not only can you expand and minimize it, but you can move it to the bottom of the screen. Whichever one works most usefully for you. Additionally, know that you can use what I term breadcrumbs at the top so that you can go back to the main page rather than having to go through the course menu. And finally, you can use the browser back button to be able to go back, particularly if you have used something like a course link. In the Start Here menu, you see in the table of contents things that you need to do during the first week. One is looking at the communications policy. In the communications policy, I have provided the policy as an attachment, and then you also have access to the components here. On this first page, you see the attachment, and that information, the information that is in the attached document, is also provided here so that you can scan it easily. Notice that there are two things that are here that are not in the policy that you download, and that is the meaning of a grade of 1 and a grade of 0. Another thing is your first week checklist. I'll let you look at it in detail, but one of the things I ask you to do is to create a folder on a USB drive or on your home computer so that you can store the files that you download all in one place. I have a folder for the fall for 102, and I have subfolders within it. So you see that you can then organize things within the folder. This is something that I will again encourage you to do to make it easier for you to manage the information that you have. When you click on the Syllabus Plus link, you come to this page. You have reminders to download certain information. You have access to the course syllabus, a folder, and you have access to a module that provides other information. In the course syllabus page, when we click on the link, It takes us to information about academic honesty, and then we are given the course syllabus. You have 4 documents that you should download and review. And you also have a course link to reading assignments. These are provided in a document here, and then you have access to that information online. We also have access on the course syllabus page to this module, and it includes quite a bit of information that I think should be helpful to you. There are resources for writers online. There's information about documenting, formatting your documents, as well as information about documenting source material. There's also information about accessing information about submitting assignments, instructions for integrity videos, quizzes, discussion posts, writing assignments, how to submit attached documents. In addition, there's information about time management skills, and there is a link to the grading rubrics that you find here under grades. I also want you to look at the menu itself. Notice there is a section on communication, so you can go to announcements, to course messages we'll come back to, information about contacting me, and then there are quick links. The first one is the course content unit. There are links to lectures, quizzes, discussions, and assignment submissions. There is also information about end of semester materials that we will need later, and there are review materials. These materials include information from English 101. If you feel like you need a review and you want to know where to go in this review section, let me know and I'll be glad to help you. And finally, in this section, in the course menu, there are resources for technical and academic assistance, and there are resources that are campus resources, the library, student services, and there is a link to Blackboard Student Help, but I find it easier to do a web search for Blackboard and whatever issue I'm having a problem with. I typically find videos and instructions there. This is the course content link in the menu. You notice you can access the Start Here link. And then there is a course overview, and this is the one that I want you to pay particular attention to. There is a lecture that you are instructed to watch. It gives you an overview of the course, introduces the objectives, and explains the relationship between the the course content, the assignments, and those objectives. When you click on the course overview link, you see that the first is a lecture. The first item is a lecture. You can watch the lecture. It is lengthy, one of the more lengthy in the course, but I felt like the information was important. There's also a copy of the PowerPoint I use, and then a discussion, whichever works best for you. There is some additional information that is some discussion of items in the lecture. I cover objectives, the standards, writing, my feedback, its purpose, reflective practice, what academic English is, including grammar and punctuation, the importance of documenting sources, the idea of the academic essay, pre-writing, and literary analysis in the context of the course objectives. The communications policy tells you that course messages is the preferred means of communication for this class. For those of you who have used course messages, you know how to do it, but for those of you who haven't, it is not necessarily intuitive. If you'll notice here, you create a message, which is logical. When you go to this page, your recipients list will be provided for you. Since the course has not been populated, I'm the only one who is listed. You can select all, or you can select an individual, and then you move it over to the recipients column. Then you can move them back if you choose not to send it to a particular person. You're told that you are to have a strong subject line. Let me know what you're communicating about. Is it a question? Is it information? Do you need assistance in a particular area? Tell me what area. It also says that you are to include a salutation or a greeting. You should do this like a friendly letter. Do not simply start with your question. Have some sort of opening. Then you are to use academic English. That means that you are to write complete sentences. You are not to use don't use text message spellings. And then you should have a closing and your signature. Even though I know, because it is a course message who has sent it, in order to send it, you hit submit. You do have the option of adding a file. So if you have a question about a paper, then add a copy of the paper so that I have access to that. But you can only add one attachment to a course message unless it's changed. In that case, simply send more than one. Anytime you're sending a file, though, include information. Tell me why you're sending it, what I need to do with it. Always give me as much information as possible so that I can respond. And then you click submit. In the communications policy, it tells you how long you should expect to wait to hear back from me. Look at that so that you're aware, because all of these things are going to be, or information from all of these areas will be on the orientation quiz. Course messages, the communications policy, information from the syllabus, as well as information from that overview. As always, if you have questions, if you have concerns, please let me know. Asking questions is the mark of a good student. Waiting until the last minute to ask is not. So ask early, ask often. That's why I'm here. You notice that I have some unread information in the inbox. Those are messages that I have sent to myself that I will forward to you or send to you once your names are in the course. And there are a few of you that did not get an email from me because your email address was considered not to be valid. If you didn't get an email from me, please check your email in My Calhoun and update that. I look forward to working with you.